Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn. How are you doing today? I have the May 2023 Spellbinders Club Kits, and I don't get everything, but what I want to do is do a little Crafty haul slash unboxing of the Club Kits that I do get. So this is kind of cool. I haven't put this together yet, so I'm gonna be really excited to play with this one. This is the Glimmer of the month, and we get three Glimmer plates that are sentiments. These look gorgeous on their own. Happy birthday, make a wish, and it's your day. So really fabulous. But then check out the dies. So this is gonna be so cool. I'm really excited to play with this. And it's hard to kind of explain it without taking some elements out just to show. So this is going to be like a balloon shape here. And this might make it a little easier to see. Look how big that is. And then let's say you've got, this is, I think, yeah. So let's say you glimmered here. What's interesting to play with is that you could glimmer this right into sort of your balloon shape, which I think would be really fun. But the other thing you can do with the dies is, check this out. So this die just does a partial cut of the top of the sentiment, and then this die does a partial cut of the bottom of the sentiment. So what you could do is you could glimmer this onto a panel, die cut the top, die cut the bottom, and just cut, extend, these lines if you wanted, or attach the bottom of the balloon, because it kind of comes and meets with the bottom of the balloon, and then this sort of extends and meets the top of the balloon, but then here it would still be connected to your paper, because there's no cut line, right along this edge here. There's no cut line. So that would be glimmered here. That plate glimmers the sentiment, and what's going to get cut is above and below it. So it's so neat. I'm kind of excited to play with this and see what all you can do with it, and the various ways, because you don't have to do anything with the balloon, and you could just extend these cut lines so that it's straight across, like I said, and then it just becomes like a little bit of a like a strip, accent strip on your card. But of course, then if you combine it with the balloon, then you get even more fun possibilities. And so there's three sentiments that come in the Glimmer of the month, and so each of those three sentiments has a pair of dies that just cuts that edge at the top and at the bottom, as well as your balloon dies that that help you to kind of create that extra fun shape. So how neat is that? Like, this is a very, very cool set. And it just feels very different. I'm really excited by it because it's so different. And so I think that's going to be a fun one to play with. And it's so much fun that there's actually this add-on that I think is going to be available as a separate purchase, but it gives you 2 additional sentiments. So we have You Lift Me Up, which is great for balloons, and also have a colorful day. So really, really great. And of course, you know, these bottoms are, you know, the reason why the cut line starts to go that diagonal is because it is designed to meet up with the bottom portion of the balloon. So how fun is that? So you get, you can get the Glimmer of the Month, and then the extra add-on is available too. And I feel like this month's club kits are really good with sentiments. So the small die of the month, look how fun this is. It's a plane, kind of like one of those, you know, prop planes, and you've got some different elements that you can kind of layer up and, you know, die cut from different solid color cardstock, for example, and then add your accent layers that way. Like all of these pieces match those. These pieces match there. And then you've got a banner, which the idea being that this plane has the banner trailing behind it. So it's like one of those little prop planes that's kind of been hired to to run this message through the air, through the sky. So we've got different sentiments that deboss into the banner. So we have happy birthday, you did it, hip hip hooray. So that's pretty cool. So that would be trailing behind here. You've got some clouds. You've got some, you've got the propeller. This is the line that would attach to the banner, that would attach the plane, the banner to the plane. And so lots of fun little elements. I think this gives the banner like on this edge here. So this would technically be where the pointy end here is the end that's closest to the tail of the plane, and this would be the one that's kind of farthest away. And I think these are meant to be give your banner some of the fishtail ends, and give it a little bit of extra dimension if you wanted. Yeah, actually there's 2 cloud dies. So that's kind of fun. That's the small die of the month. And then look at this one. This is the large die of the month. And again, just like a beautiful kind of mix between the Glimmer of the month, which is that really big balloon. This has some smaller balloons. And then kind of like with this banner here, this is another type of banner flag, kind of more like a scroll almost. And so you do get, you know, the ends of the banner with that fishtail design and lots of sentiments. So I don't think that they all can fit in here though. So, you know, that would be something to play with. But we have happy birthday to you if you wanted. This says sending, enclosed, and wishes. So you could do sending wishes, wishes enclosed, and then on top of that there's lots of floral elements that you can add as well as the balloons, and then these are your balloon strings here. So really fun. Very you know, it feels like, you know, these are all really, really well suited and themed for birthdays, which I love because that's probably the kind of card outside of Christmas cards that I make the most. And so here we have the clear Stampin' Die of the month. And again, very celebratory. Lots of balloons, gifts, cupcake, and some florals. So this is similar to what I described. Was it I think it was last month that I was pleased I had figured out why there were so many dies when this is a single stamp. And it's the same thing here as well. You get this is a single stamp, so you can stamp it the one time and then color it if you wanted. But you have one die that will cut out this top portion. So let's say if you wanted, you could die cut out a panel, let's say, and then put position this so that it's right where you want it. And if you only wanted that top design, you could just stamp onto your die cut piece. And or if you prefer to stamp and then die cut, whichever way you want to do it, you could just use that top half design and then die cut that out. And then there's a die, this larger one here, will die cut out the bottom design. So everything just right along this edge here, it'll die cut that portion out. And then there's lots of little dies. So 2 of these sentiments, all 3 of them do have coordinating dies to cut out. So Today is All About You, there's a die for that. Make a Wish, there's a die for that. Hip Hip Hooray, there's a die for that. And then there's additional individual dies that will cut out some of the elements that make up these designs. So there's a die for the present, there's a die for the cupcake, there's a die for the party hat. So party hat, present, cupcake. These 2 dies here, those took me the longest to find. They are these 2 elements here. So for example, you could die cut this out, die cut that out, and then have those as like little accents, on either side of your sentiment, for example. If you wanted to use it separately, you could die cut that present out and use that separately too. And it may seem funny, these little gaps, but Today is All About You presumably fits really well in this space. And then either of these I think would fit really well in the bottom space there. So you could just stamp out your complete panel and not use the dies at all, because it is always an option to get just the stamp of the month without the dies. But then if you do get the coordinating dies, then there's a lot of different ways you can be kind of using this, because you can die cut out individual elements to use separately outside of the larger design. And as I mentioned, you could just use half of this design and just have the space for that bottom sentiment, or just use the top. So that's all kind of cool. I like having these dies that in any case, this is a very snippable design, but I like having the dies that you can use to actually cut out very specific elements of the design. So that's really cool. And then the 3D embossing folder of the month is also all about celebration, balloons. This is one that is directional, because you would want all of your balloons to be floating upwards. There's a nice kind of flat open area here if you wanted to put a focal image and sentiment. This is a US A2 size card blank, so lots of areas that you can position this. So if you wanted most of the balloons to be sort of top heavy, you could maybe shift up in this corner, and then you would have the open area down here where you could put your focal image. Or if you could do the reverse, you could put it more down here. Your open area would be here with a little bit of that banner going across that corner there. So this is one of the reasons why I like large embossing folders like this and designs like this where it's not a repeat pattern, because I like repeat patterns too, but one of the pros to having a pattern like this where the whole design is unique and not a repeat is that, especially since I do create smaller cards like USA 2 size cards, I have a lot of choice where I want to place my card panel, and that just gives me a lot more options, I feel, and I always like having options. So that is the 3D embossing folder of the month, and I was really lucky that Spellbinders gave me the card kit of the month again for May, so I'm excited. So April was the first card kit of the month that I got this year, and I had requested that after talking a little bit about it in January. I got some questions as to what my thoughts were on the new format of the card kit, and I didn't really have an opinion. I just had speculation because I hadn't yet crafted with it. And I still haven't as of the time of this filming because, I've got this kit in advance from Spellbinders, and so I haven't even yet crafted with the card kit from April, since I left that for the unboxing video that I filmed, or that I live streamed on April 1st. So, as of the time of the filming of this unboxing, I still haven't crafted with this kit, but I will show what comes in it, and I don't know if I'll continue to get these. I welcome it, though, because I like what is included, and so I'll go through that now. So, we have your kind of info sheet, which includes what all comes in the kit, as well as some inspiration and step-by-step instructions on how to create the very specific card that you see there. And so what all comes in this is you do get 8 card bases and coordinating envelopes. These are USA 2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and they are side folding portrait, but you could always do like a top folding landscape if you wanted. Then you get 20 card panels. So you have this in 5 different colors. So if you want to think about it in terms of the number of US letter size sheets of cardstock that you're getting 5 sheets and 5 different colors. In this case, we are getting a white and then 4 different colors. So, but it's conveniently cut down so that it's exactly the same size as your card base, the front of your card base. So I think that makes it really convenient to craft with. Then we have as well a pack of pattern papers. I'm presuming this is going to be the same as April, so that would mean 20 unique designs and exactly 20 sheets. So that means one of each design. They are single-sided patterns. It is a paper, not a cardstock weight. So there's that. You want to be careful about, what you use and plan wisely, because you're only going to get the 1 sheet in each design. So there is that. Then we get some sticker elements. So we have some puffy stickers. Look at all the different styles of ampersand. That's kind of cool. And then we have some sentiments. So here's where you're going to get your sentiments. You can kind of mix and match with the ampersands to combine the sentiments, where you've got some large words and then some smaller sort of like phrases. So for example, we have smile, there's nothing better, or oh happy day, so thankful for you, so really cool. So there's that. Then we get our die cut elements, and these are pre-printed, full color, fully die cut, ready to go, great for collaging, great to build up a focal point or a scene. And then we have these are stickers, but they are chipboard elements, and so they have a little bit of dimension to them already. They already have adhesive on the back. And again, another place for you to be getting sentiments, because you have some chipboard elements with sentiments on them. But then there's some elements that are images, so you can get and build up your focal images. And in fact, you could kind of mix and match your die cut elements with your chipboard elements and have some dimension too if you're layering the chipboard on top of the flat die cut elements. So that can be one way to get some dimension onto your card. But then there's also, this is a really very generous, look at how much is in here. So you get some sprinkles. So if you do like to make things like shaker cards, I think this would make really great shaker fill. But you could use some of these individually because there are some flat sequins too, but they're clear. And I think the flat clear sequins are all one size. But look, there's actually little clouds. So there's like the clay slices in little clouds too. Oh, this is a really cool mix. So very fun. So I would probably be more apt to use this as shaker fill, because it's a really nice mix, and I don't think clear sequins, on their own, even if you did use them individually, I don't think they add much by themselves to a card. So they make the fill look interesting, but I think to use it as an individual where you would an individual accent or embellishment where you would maybe use a more colorful sequins, I don't think they really add too much in that way. Then you get your adhesive. So you have a roll of your double-sided dry adhesive tape as well as double-sided foam. And the foam, they are pre-cut into small squares, but all of that is foam. All of it is edge-to-edge adhesive. So when you're done using those little squares, just snip the rest and use those as well. Don't let that go to waste. So that is the May card kit of the month, which I'm really excited for. And there's a really good chance I actually craft with this kit before I craft with the April kit. But I will have a flip video where I create at least one flat, one layered, one interactive, and one pop-up card using the club kits of the month. I'll link to that at the end of this video. When I craft with the card kit, that will be a separate video because I'm likely to create maybe a number of cards with it. I don't want to promise a fixed number, but as many as I can think of. And so that will be a separate video. And in fact, I wonder if I might actually do Kendra's card challenge with one of these card kits because I think it would lend itself really well to sketch challenges. So that might be an idea that I explore. But as I mentioned, that'll be in a separate video from my flip video. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.